Welcome to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for Monday, November 24th. Markets continue to make new highs on Friday, and we enter the Thanksgiving week at its highs. So we're going to see what happens here. We do have a shortened week, as we all know. On Thursday is Thanksgiving in the States, and then Friday we have a very subdued trading. But on Friday, usually seasonality calls that we have an up day on Friday. So let's just keep an eye on that. Now, we are entering into a week where we are at extensions. We are overbought. I'm going to show you some indicators. But what does that tell you? Does that tell you to short the market? Absolutely not. Does it tell you to tighten up stops if you're a swing trader? Of course. We are trend traders. We follow the trend. But when we get to these extreme levels where we've gone very fast, very quickly, and now we have some extreme overbought readings in some of these indicators, which I am going to show you, that calls for caution, and that tells us to be careful. That does not say let's go short the market, and I'm not calling for that. I am a trend trader, and we look for price to tell us, and until price starts to roll over, we are going to be on the buy the dip mode. However, with caution, and if you are obviously a day trader, it's a little less worrisome for you because you're in and out of the trade as quickly as you enter it. So what I want to have in front of you is the MS World Index, and this is all of the indexes throughout the world, obviously. And as you can see here, this does not look very enticing. So we have money coming into the United States from other areas and other parts of the world that are flooding the gates with dollars, and that's where we come in. And the U.S. dollar is at these crazy levels right now, which I think is just the beginning, where they convert their dollars, again, euro, for instance, into U.S. dollars, and that's where you're going to have that demand. And I do think that the dollar is going to absolutely stir up the pot in a lot of asset classes in 2015. So that's something that we're going to be watching for. But that's the Morgan Stanley Index. Now, take a look at stocks above the 50-day moving average, and if you've been following me for years, you know I'm a big fan of this. I've also called this, I said, guys, it looks like we're going to be bouncing here, and that was at the low. Now we're at these extreme levels at almost 88.5 percentile of stocks above the 50-day moving average. That's a little crazy, and when you get to these levels here, look for at least a pullback. Now, if we do get a pullback, am I looking for a crash? Absolutely not. We are in seasonal mode where strength is upon us in the market for the next 5 weeks of the year. So just keep an eye on that. But I do look for some sort of a pullback. You just can't go straight up for 25 trading days. Right now, the 8 SMA on a daily chart is a 26% closing above. To me, that's kind of crazy, and that's dangerous, because now we have where the markets are fully one-sided right now, where there are absolutely no sellers. It's going to take one little catalyst, and everybody will be running for the floodgates again. Now, does it look like we're going to be selling off anything significant? Right now, obviously, you can't tell that. But just, again, keep that in the back of your mind while you're long. Just if you are swing trading, just tighten up the stops. That's really all I'm saying here. Just to use a little caution, not telling you to short the market at all. And then we have the NDX here, and you can see that that's at 87% stocks above the 50-day moving average on the Nasdaq. So quite extended. Okay. Now let's go into the indexes itself. S&P weekly, we start the week off again up at the 2 standard deviation of the Bollinger Band. We're way away from the 8 and the 20, and obviously the 50 is way down here. This whole rally has been on decrease in volume week by week, so that's another word of caution. Again, not telling you to short the market, so please don't think that I am telling you this. This is just, again, a word of caution. If you're day trading, it's very simple. You're in and out quick. But if you're swing trading, I would definitely use caution here. At least tighten up your stops. But you could see this volume from this low. We have had several weeks of diminishing volume. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P daily, Spiders daily. As you can see here, nice big top. We've actually sold off pretty much all day on Friday once we made that new all-time high again. But we just grinded lower. There was no panic selling. It was a very subdued Friday. We just grinded lower until we got to the top of this gap, and then that actually called it quits for the day. And now we're sitting at this little gap up off of this reversal here from this area here. Now let's see if we see what happens today. If we if we get if we break below this area here, that could definitely tell us, at least in the short term, that we have a top in place. Same thing here with the diamonds, as you can see. Diamonds did the same thing on a little bit better volume. Transports as well, starting to break back down again. So watch the transports. They were a little bit weak here early on in the session on Friday, and now it continues to start to lag a little bit. And when you get these highs, remember I had mentioned when we hit these high here, a high here, we've sold off. A high here, we've sold off. Here we sold off, and then we had this high here, and now we're starting. Looks like we might be pulling back a little bit. So watch the transports. Definitely has repetitive pattern of making highs and then selling off for a few days. Okay, and then the IWM, we broke back. We tried to break out of it, and we failed. And again, this is the laggard of the five that indices that we follow. So that's another one here. Keep an eye on the IWM, because if the IWM starts to start to sell off again, then obviously we might have some issues here with the market moving higher. Okay, and lastly is the Qs, as you can see here. Qs definitely being the leader of the bunch for the last several weeks. Actually, pretty much all of 2014 it has been definitely leading the way. All right, guys. So use just a word of caution here. It looks like we're at these extensions and we're extremely overbought in some of these indicators that we're looking at. And again, we have extreme complacency here. So when all of that comes together, it looks like for me, I'm just going to use a little caution here, okay? Have a great day, everybody, and we shall speak to you tomorrow. Take care.